Now, with the shambles, what was FM25 getting delayed month after month after month, we need something to get us through. Now, I was lucky I managed to find a Bordeaux safe to keep me occupied through those autumn months. However, we've still got about 3 months of FM24 time left. And thank God, the mad scientist has done a pure my era, mid-90s, 1994, 1995 database. And today we're just going to have a little bit of a first look. We're going to browse through it, have a look at the players. We're going to do a bit of reminiscing. We're also going to check out the incredible mod pack by Mr. Timmy, I think it is, which allows you to get custom kits, logos, trophy updates, stadium updates, and the big thing, there's also regen wonder kits that come through the game. So end of the first season, I've noticed already, Jamie Carragher comes through at Liverpool. Richard Creswell popped up at my team, York City, which was pretty cool. So we'll talk about all about that. Let's go and have a little look. However, before we just get into it, I will be streaming a new series on Saturday nights and Sunday nights. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll put the links out later on in the week to tell you what time it is, but we're looking about 8 o'clock. We're going to be having my final save on FM24 will be in this database, and I think we're heading to Serie A, which we're going to show you in a minute, because it's like Prime, Golazzo, Football Italia, etc. So yeah, we need to hit that before we move into something very different for FM25. All right, I'll be returning to streaming here on YouTube, by the way, not Twitch, right here on the channel on YouTube, Saturday nights and Sunday nights. All right, guys, let's get into it. Now, the first thing you need to be aware of that I've actually paid for this. It's not been given it for free. I think the database does eventually come out for free. Comes out as a save file. However, I've got my hands on the database. That cost me $5 on the Patreon package that Mad Scientist puts out. I know people like to have a whinge. People whinge at me for not sharing my tactic files for free. But I would appreciate if you go check out Mad Scientist, like the amount of work he puts into stuff like this, including the face pack as well this year for the 94-95 database. You need to support it. If not, don't worry about it. Get the save game file, it'll come out eventually. And then the Mr. Tinny stuff as well, that cost a little bit more. That was $7.50, but with that I got kits, trophies, stadiums, logos, and also that fantastic Wonder Kid regen patch, which goes all the way through till 2024. So like 30 years of regens will come through every single year, along with non-real regens as well, by the looks of it. So that'll keep you going until FM24. And he also has a really good how-to video on how to do it on the regen stuff. So yeah, $12.50 it cost me. I think with a little bit of it, we're talking about maybe 10 and 12 quid tops. And that will get me through now till March time when FM25 drops out. So this is the database. Now the leagues loaded and done English, Premier and Division 1 as it was, or the Championship. We've got Serie A and Serie B, La Liga, Bundesliga, Liga, Scottish Prem, which is good because Rangers Celtic was strong during the 90s, mid-90s, and the Eredivisie as well. There may be others to come out. He sometimes adds other ones in, but I imagine he might be getting ready for FM25 now. So, you know, there's enough there to get you through. There's also leagues outside as well. With the mod pack, the players are getting added to the teams that are not in the league. I'm devastated because my team, if we just look at the Cardiff Premier League, look, obviously as well with the mod pack, this was the year that they went from 22 to 20. So 4 teams got relegated. The mod pack readjusts that for the following season, so it's done even better. The mod pack as well has the proper Champions League coefficient. So if we go to rules, continental qualification, top team qualifies for European Champions League, 2nd to 5th for the UEFA Cup, and 6th, depending on the winner of the FA Cup, qualifies for the UEFA Cup Winners' Cup. Just how I want it. So really good. A lot harder, you know, finishing 5th in Premier League and then winning in Champions League. No. You want to play in the Champions League, you're going to have to win your competition, which is absolutely fantastic. The money has been changed as well. So if you look at the parachute payments, only 40 grand for 3 years. I don't know if that affects the wages. In the past, the wages have been sort of like realistic to modern day. But as you can see, Pro Scholes at 19. That's maybe a bad example. Let's go Peter Schmeichel, who's in his prime. Yeah, 15 grand a week. So this is all been brought down to more of a relevant sort of like financial time period to what we had in the mid-90s. So what I was saying, York City, they're in League One. So you can load up the other divisions with the leagues in. So obviously York City are now in Vanarama. not for much longer. We're going to get into League Two this year, but time of 94-95, we were in there in second division. Now, there's no players in there. Obviously, these players do not exist in the game. It's just because the captains haven't been changed. You've even got the kits. They've done the kits for these teams out of the division, which is really cool. But there's no players. You could start there and just buy players from the transfer list and stuff. So that was an option that I was going to go with for the series. But we're doing York City for FM25. So I don't want to do it now. And then obviously, because of what's going on in Serie A during the 90s, it feels right with the channel and with who we love to get involved in a bit of that. There is the Premier League. Obviously, Manchester United, extremely strong. Fergie just coming into his pomp. There's the first team squad, a little bit smaller, but it also has the under-21s. So in there you've got Chris Casper, Gary Neville, Phil Neville, Michael Appleton, David, a very young David Beckham at the age of 19. Like, you could just wonder-kid hard, to be fair. David Johnson started at Manchester United. He is Brennan Johnson's dad, had a decent career at Nottingham Forest. Eric Cantona, and from Holmes Under the Hammer, Dion Dublin. Who are the book season preview? Who are the favourites? I did a simulation, and Liverpool actually won it. So Liverpool got quite a good squad because obviously Robbie Fowler is pretty damn good, and he was leading goal scorer in the division. You got Steve McManaman before he went on to Real Madrid. You've got a very good-looking Blackburn. Was this the year that they won it? I think it probably was. Alan Shearer, there he is. We need to bring him to Italy during the stream, don't we? 23 years old as well. Deary me, yeah, we need to get involved. There's going to be so many good players to sign. The managers are done right as well. Obviously, this is a little bit of an issue at the moment. You can also get the stadium pack. This is a skin issue. So I have the stadium pack for this. So I just need to copy the stadium pack across. Sorry, the city pack across. And I'll have that in. Shea Given is a hot prospect at Blackburn Rovers. There you go. Right, let's head. So La Liga, you've got your old badges. You've got your old badges here. Look, Barcelona, Johan Cruyff in charge. They've got a 23-year-old Pep Guardiola there. Tremendous mentals, which you'd expect. You've got players such as Stoichkov, Begisteran, who's currently the Man City director of football, who's leaving at the end of the season. A young Jordi Cruyff. Ivan De La Pena, a prime Georgie Hadji as well. Look at the technicals and mentals on that. Real Madrid, on the other hand, have a very versatile Luis Enrique. Quique Sanchez Flores. A young Raul, 17-year-old Raul. Look, absolutely tremendous. Real Madrid were not that strong. If you just look at the squad itself, Redondo, I suppose, let him off. Zamorano. But I don't think they would have been as strong as Barcelona at this time. Emilio Butragueño, who for FIFA players, I think he's a icon card. Canizares. Yeah, by the looks of it, they don't feel as strong as Barcelona. Herrero, 26 years old. Wow, tremendous. Interestingly, when I did my little season holiday mode to just check that the regen pack was working, Paris Saint-Germain finished one place above the relegation zone. So it's before all the money came in. But they do have Bernard Lama, who was awesome up until was it 1999? Was it him? I might be getting that wrong. There was a goalkeeper that thought the world was going to end when it went from the millennium, when it went to the year 2000. I'm not sure if it was him or not. No, I don't think it was. I think it might have been, the keeper. Was it Rower? The Argentinian keeper? Come on, you 90s football fans, let me know. Who am I thinking of there? I'm not sure if... No, I don't think it was Bernard Lamar. But anyway, my favourite Premier League player, David Ginola, will be trying desperately hard to bring him. He's wanted as well. Arsenal, Liverpool, we're trying very hard, that's what she said, to bring him to Serie A. George Weah, 27-year-old striker, before he's moved to AC Milan. But let's go to my team that I've just been playing with at the moment, my current FM series. Go check it out, because we've started in the 4th tier. And look at the key player. A 22-year-old Zinedine Zidane. Oh, yes. So you could get your hands on a young Zinedine Zidane for a decent price. Obviously, the Premier League and Serie A will have a decent budget. And interestingly as well, Nantes won Liga when I did the little save. Patrice Loco was a tremendous player, 97, 98. He was awesome on the game. They've also got a young Claude Makalele, so you can really build your squad like into a wonder squad here. And then you're going to get these regens coming through every year. So the Scottish Premier League looks like that with only 10 teams in it. Let's go to Celtic first. Who have they got? We've just done a video on my other channel about the kits. So quite a small squad. Tony Mowbray. There he is. Looking good with a nice little bit of blonde going through tone. Charlie Nicholas. Andy Walker, who does a lot of the Sky stuff now. Tom Boyd, loved a bit of Tom Boyd. John Collins. Yeah, they weren't very strong. This must have been like, was this the Rangers era, the early 90s? I get the vibe it maybe was. They got anyone in decent in the B team? Yeah, they got some nice youngsters coming through. They've also got Malky Mackay in there as well. Let's go and have a look at Rangers. Oh yeah, Rangers. Walter Smith. Oh my life, I've already seen some. Ali McCoy's getting on, but a decent finisher, would be a really good poacher. A young Duncan Ferguson at the age of 22. Legend that is Andy Gorham. And Brian Laudrup as well. Never quite reached them absolute massive heights, did he? He loved his time in obviously in Scotland, but he didn't reach the things of what his older brother Michael did. And then some of the other teams were strong. Were the other teams strong? They were probably stronger than what they were now. Obviously, not including Aberdeen. Aberdeen, by the way, we're going to be looking at them very soon on the channel for a tactic video. Billy Dodds, absolute goal machine. And Johan Jess, bit of a wonder kid. I think, was he a bit of a CMFM wonder kid at times? Ended up at one of my teams, Bradford City, towards the later part of his career, but definitely at some part of his career. Never really kicked on to be an absolute top player. And there you go, the Bundesliga. 1860 Munich are actually in the Bundesliga, which is pretty cool because we know that they've struggled of late. Decent save, by the way, for if you wanted to finish FM24 Fulham Giant. Not recognising anyone in there, but we will probably recognise. But what we will recognise some players in here. A young Dieter Hamann. He's a bit of a knobber, isn't he, when he comes on the radio. Christian Ziege. Oh, hang on. Lothar Matthäus. Woo! Getting on a bit, though. Oliver Kahn, 25 years old. What have Dortmund got rocking? They've got a young Lars Ricken. Oh, Chapuzat. I used to love Chapuzat. Just one of the players that I used to love. Yeah, he's decent as well. Andreas Moller. Matthias Sammer, looking at good work on that, mad scientist. Good picture to have. Tremendous ball-playing defender. Very quickly, we'll have a look at Ajax. So they've got Louis van Gaal in charge. This is prime Ajax, right? Oh, my life. This would be the easiest save in the world. Right, we'll go through some of them. Van der Sar, Danny Blind, getting on a bit. One of the older ones. A young Vincent Bogard. A young Edgar Davids. A lot of these will be wanted. Frank de Boer. Ronald de Boer. Finini George, love him. Fred Grimm, great number 2 through the years. A young Canu, 17-year-old Canu. An 18-year-old Kluivert. A 23-year-old Jari Litmanen. A young Mark Overmars. A veteran in terms of Frank Rijkaard after he's come back from AC Milan. A young Clarence Seedorf. Yeah, there's a nice bit of squad in there, isn't there? To choose. So that should be, if you don't win the league with Ajax, I imagine you get sacked. Clyde Wynard. Was he Leeds United? I think he maybe was. My young Mario Melchiot as well, by the looks of it. There you go. Wow, if you don't win the league with Ajax. And look, as well, the old stadium before they moved to that fantastic new one. But there you go, 19,000, so very, very different. Right, let's get to Serie A, the place where everyone wanted to be in the 90s. Now, couple of ideas for saves. I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments, you guys that follow the channel, where you would like me to go. So these actually 2 divisions for this one. Like the Premier League, you get the sort of like the first tier and the second tier. There's some interesting ones. Atalanta before kind of Gasparini got hold of them. They were very much a lower end Serie A and Serie B side. Piacenza, who have sacked so many managers this season in real life and sacked the manager the same day he was appointed. Really good challenge. They've also got a young Filippo Inzaghi and Simone Inzaghi in the squad. So, yeah, if we get a Serie A team, we're definitely pillaging them for some players. Palermo. However, Juventus are ridiculously strong. Here it is. The time you've been waiting for. Roberto Baggio. This is, as soon as he put it out, me and Mad Scientists were like, yep, he knew what I was going to say. This boy. Very difficult to get him away from Juventus. I would love to bring him. I think we're going to probably be starting, potentially, at Fiorentina. So, look at Claudio Ranieri. Be nice to bring him home if I do end up going to Fiorentina. But they've also, let's just click through. So, Peruzzi, Ravanelli, Tanadaci, Torricelli, Baggio that we spoke about, Antonio Conte, Didier Deschamps, Cairo Ferreira, Robert Yanni, Paulo Sousa, Vialli, just Del Piero, lovely, 19 years old. Wow. But the competition at the time, like, if we just go to some of these teams, some of the players in these teams is scary for, like, the ultimate, like, it could have been anyone that won the division. Inter are okay. They've got Dennis Bergkamp, who's very good. Strangely, because Inter Milan, in my simulation, they actually won the league and the Champions League, I think. Or the UEFA Cup, maybe. They definitely won a trophy. They definitely won the Serie A. Milan with Fabio Capello obviously have Costa Curta Carlo Cudetini, Desailly, Paolo Di Canio, Donadoni, Aranio, Galli, Ruud, Hullet, Marco van Basten, Albertini, Baresi, Boban, Carboni, not Benito though, Maldini at the age of 26 as well. But one club that I saw and I was like, wow, you are stacked. You are absolutely stacked, was Lazio with my boy Zdeněk Zeman, ultimate attacking coach there. So that'll be fun, hopefully, to play against them. I was going to choose Lazio. Then I thought it might be a little bit easy. The defense is okay, but they've got Alan Bocic, Casaraghi, Roberto Di Matteo, Marco Di Vaio, who's only 17. Decent left back in Favelli, Diego Fusa, Paul Gascoigne, a young Alessandro Nesta, so you can bring those young players through. My boy Giuseppe Signori, Aaron Winter, so their squad was well stacked. Sampdoria is always a good option. Sven Goran side. It was just a little bit. This is obviously after they won the European competitions, but they've got Lombardo in there, and I've also got David Platt and a young, 25-year-old Sinta Mihailovic. Yeah, free kicking 20. No problem. That would be a tremendous signing. And also, Roberto Mancini at the age of 29. So he's still got a few years left in him. It keeps going like clubs. Roma, Francesco Totti. Look at the badge as well. Aldair, Balbo. The goalkeeper is impressive. Daniel Fonseca. So maybe Roma's a little bit of a challenge because obviously they're not, during this time, the looks of it, they weren't one of the absolute big boys. You know, Francesco Totti being good, but he is only 17 in the game. I tell you who might be good though. Parma. Benarivo. Loved a bit of Benarivo. A couple of left back, right back. Dino Baggio. Gianfranco Zola. Faustino Asprilla. Thomas Brolin. Look at the air. A young Stefano Fiore. Used to love him. And also as well, Marco Branca. So there's a decent number of players there. Napoli. I'm just got Benito Carboni, my boy. Used to love him at Sheffield Wednesday. So they weren't as strong, Napoli. But one of the sort of like the fallen nearly has-beens was Fiorentina. So that's why obviously Fiorentina during this time was kind of my Italian club, mainly because, and it was just because of this man, Gabriele Batistuta. He won a Serie A with Roma, but never went on to win anything with Fiorentina. And I'm kind of feeling that this is a good level for us to be at because we're not one of the big boys. We do have some fantastic players though. Francesco Toldo, Baiano, obviously Batistuta there. He's quite good. I've never heard of him before. Daniel Canascal. Woo. Yeah, so I think it's a team that needs a little bit of work. Rui Costa though. We've got Rui Costa. He just looks like the Bond villain from one of the films. Was it the last one? Or the one before? I'll put a picture up now. You know what I mean? There we go. So that's who I'm thinking of, but I'm open to suggestions with who we should be going to Serie B and start even lower. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. One thing as well I've got to show you, because this is following the World Cup. Diego Maradona is on a free transfer. Arsenal, Liverpool, Milan and Barcelona all want him. So if you are a big club, you can get your hands on one of the greatest ever players. All right, thank you very much for watching. Smash a like on today's video. We're going to be streaming this on the channel at the weekend. I'm not entirely sure, so just throw suggestions at me. Go check out, go support, in particular Mad Scientist for putting this together. And if you want all the additional bits as well, the face pack actually comes with the Mad Scientist, but the logos, the mods, the leagues changing, all that kind of extra little bit to make it as real as possible. If you're going to play it for a couple of months, I suggest going and supporting Mr. Tinney as well. It's about, what was it, about $12, $13 I think it's cost me to get all this pack in. More than worth it to go and support some fantastic creators doing tremendous work to get you through to FM25. Cheers guys, take care, see you later.